There are moments in life when the weight is just too much, when everything you hoped for seems to crumble. Life is heavy, prayers feel unanswered, and it's hard to even get out of bed. Sometimes the pain is so deep, we don't know what to say to God, so we stay silent, carrying our burdens alone. But in these dark and heavy places, there's a truth we must cling to. God is still in control. Even when nothing makes sense, even when you feel forgotten, He is present and He is working. The Bible isn't filled with perfect, painless people. It's filled with real, broken people who wrestled through their sufferings, but with God. Take Jeremiah, for example. He is often called the weeping prophet. He was mocked, imprisoned, even thrown into a muddy pit just for speaking God's truth. In Lamentations, he cried out, I have forgotten what happiness is. And yet, in that same breath, he declares, But this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. Jeremiah was crushed in spirit, but anchored in truth. Or Ezekiel, exiled in Babylon, living among a people who refused to listen. God asked him to lie on his side for over a year to symbolize judgment. He was called to preach to dry bones, to a people who looked spiritually dead. And yet, he obeyed. Why? Because Ezekiel knew that obedience in suffering is still worship. What about Hosea, asked by God to marry a woman who would be unfaithful, time and again? His life became a living picture of God's faithful love towards a faithless people. Can you imagine the heartbreak he endured? Still, Hosea stayed. He persevered. He loved. Because he understood something most of us forget. God's plan isn't always about ease, about revealing His heart. So, what does that mean for us today when our life feels heavy? Acknowledge the pain. Don't pretend you're okay if you're not. The Bible is full of laments, raw, honest cries to God. He can handle your questions, your anger, even your silence. Anchor your heart in truth. Romans 8:28 reminds us, in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. That includes the pain, the waiting, the closed doors. Not everything is good, but God can bring good out of everything. Practice faithful presence. Like Jeremiah, Ezekiel, and Hosea, don't run away from your calling just because it's hard. Stay rooted. Keep showing up in prayer, in the Word, in fellowship, even when you don't feel it. Faith isn't about feelings, it's about trust and obedience. Worship even in weakness. Some of the most powerful praise comes from broken places. Whisper a song, speak a promise aloud. It's not about performance, it's about presence. And finally, remember that God sees the whole picture. You may be living in the middle of the story, but He's already written the end. Jeremiah 29:11 isn't just a feel-good verse. It's a promise made to people in exile. I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you a future and a hope. Even in exile, God had a purpose. So if your heart is heavy today, take comfort in this. You're not alone. You're not forgotten. And you're not at the end of your story. The same God who carried Jeremiah through tears, Ezekiel through exile, and Hosea through heartbreak is holding you too. No matter how heavy life feels, God is still writing your story with purpose, with love, and with power. If this message spoke to your heart, please hit that like button, share it with someone who's going through a season of storms, and subscribe for more faithful content to strengthen your soul and help you walk through life with hope. Let's grow in faith together.